What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel and welcome to this short little quick tip guide on how to beat the boss Aoye. I want to make a guide on it because I haven't seen anyone beat the boss this way, at least up on YouTube as of right now. So I want to make it in case anyone's having a hard time with the current guides that are out there and needed an alternative. So there's a couple things I recommend before jumping into the battle with Aoye. Is one, hopefully you have a nice sword, one that has a deflection difficulty of 100% or higher, making it easier to deflect the things that he throws at you. And then I would also recommend equipping and learning the Absorb Vitality spell, because if you have a moment to pop that spell, when you hit Aoye and do damage to him, you will lifesteal some of the damage you do and recover any damage that you might have taken while fighting him. And then I also would recommend equipping the Divine Beast Shilin to help you burst through the remainder of his damage when you get him down to red, which I will show in a minute. So I actually had to beat this guy twice because my game actually froze the first time I beat him and I had to do it again. So the way I went about defeating Aoye, I know a lot of people recommend to stay away from the boss, stay far away, and wait for your opportunities when he uses his critical blows or when he jumps on you and do damage and then get out. So what I recommend for those who perhaps tried the range way or just are looking for a guide in general, I definitely recommend fighting him head to head. I watched a video from Tyrannicon on his Juyon guide, and I'm taking a similar approach with Aoye. Every time I would deflect one of his basic attacks, I would hit him once, max 2 times, and then I would put my guard back up and deflect him once again. He's got a bunch of different basic attacks that are very easy to get used to. He's got a couple horizontal attacks, his left and his right. He's got his vertical attacks that are a little faster, that are also left and right. He's got a couple front attacks as well where he covers his face and he hits you, super easy to deflect. And then he's got a flurry that comes out after you. As long as you have your guard up, and I usually dodge away from it and then wait for him to reinitiate the attack in order to deflect the horizontal and the vertical strikes. Because for me, those are the easiest ones to time and to get my couple hits in while building up the little meter in order to get closer to doing the little animation thing where you do a little bit more damage. So after you get to the point where you're consistently doing that and then you're doing the animation and you're hitting him and everything like that, anytime I did the animation, I would always get away from him after he, turns red and shoots out ice and everything like that. You want to avoid getting hit by the ice at all costs. So besides the basic attacks, there's also 3 critical blows that he has. Now the third one he doesn't use until he's about 50% or lower. So once he goes 50% or lower, his attack style changes a little bit. So the first 2 are very simple. The one that everyone else is recommending for you to stay away from is the very long one. He puts his hands down and he charges at you. You time it, knock him back, do a couple damage, get away, do it again, keep repeating that. I just think the process would take too long for me. If you are doing this method and you are closer to him, you might run into a situation where he does charge that right in your face and you have to have the reflexes in order to stop it. The other one, he has a limb come out and kind of like stretch out and hit you. It's a medium range attack, so if you are far enough away from him, it won't hit you. But if it does hit you, as long as you time it correctly, you should be able to deflect it and do some damage to him. You have to be careful though, because when he does that first critical blow, he'll send his other tentacle at you right behind it, even though you blocked it successfully. Just be prepared for that. I actually never successfully deflected both of them, so I always took damage on the second one. Just make sure you have your pots ready, and like I mentioned in the beginning, if you have that spell, when you have an opportunity to breathe, pop it real quick, get some damage when you get your 1 or 2 hits in, and keep going. Then finally, the third critical blow, which doesn't happen very often. The easiest way to defend against it is to be very far away from him, but because this strategy is more up close personal, if you see him charging it up and you have the opportunity to get away from him, get away from him. In the footage that I'm displaying, he would do it a couple times and I was already away from him. He does it twice in succession, so if he misses his first one, he does it again. Just dodge away if you can. If not, timing it is very, very difficult. I have a couple clips here play nice and slow. The timing is a matter of milliseconds, because it's as soon as the tentacles almost wrap around you, that's when you deflect, and that's what registers as a successful deflection. Very difficult to do. He doesn't do it very often, and if you are at least for my character 75-80% HP, you should be able to survive it, pop a pot, and then just keep going. It's not something that he spams or anything like that. So the other things you want to look out for as you're fighting Aoye is that when he's towards his second phase, right, and he's starting to shoot ice out, again, I always wanted to stay away from that. So anytime he moves sideways, I would instinctively dodge, because that's usually him setting up for the ice thing, right? But only in the second phase. But anytime you see him move sideways, get away as fast as you can. And then finally, like I talked about in the beginning, using the Divine Beast Qilin. In both of my wins, I used Qilin, the stone Divine Beast, in order to burst down the rest of his health as soon as he got close into the red bar. Pop it, does a lot of damage, and then retreat back behind the stones that have been created. And as he rushes you or he tries to hit you, it'll do more damage and it will completely kill him, as you can see in the gameplay. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys are having a better time with Aoye than I did. It took me about 40 tries to get him down, and again, I had to beat him twice because my game ended up freezing on me. But yeah, he's a pretty difficult boss. I just think that this was a way better, more efficient method than trying to stay away from him. It just didn't work for me, so hopefully this helps anyone that needs help with it. But yeah, that's all I have for the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions down below about the game or anything like that, and I will answer to the best of my ability. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely appreciate a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.